So again, the way that PrizePicks works is for any 2 picks I have, I'm getting plus 200 odds, right? So it doesn't matter if I'm taking Ryan O'Neal or Nathan McKinnon's over, $20 to win 60, right? Of the to win column, $20 is your stake of 20, right? So it's $20 to win $40 of profit. So that's just plus 200 odds. If you're comparing PrizePicks to a sports book, right? Every 2-player prop pick entry is just going to be plus 200 odds. So we've went through in a previous video the math behind PrizePicks and showed that essentially because any 2-player prop pick entry is just plus 200 odds, you need to win 1 out of 3 of your 2-player prop pick entries to break even on PrizePicks, right? You lose 100, you lose 100, then you have a winning entry, you win 200, you break even. So ideally, your 2-player prop pick, 2-leg entries on PrizePicks have an implied win probability greater than 33.33%, right? That would make them positive EV mathematically profitable. So basically, because you need each, 2-leg entry, you can't place entries with 1 pick, 1 player prop on PrizePicks. You need every single pick in your entry to have an implied win probability or a break-even win percentage above 57.74%, right? If each of your entries is winning 57.74% of the time, then the probability you win an entry is 57.74% for pick 1 times 57.74% for pick 2. So the implied win probability for your PrizePicks entry will be 0.33. So long story short, PrizePicks, you want every single player prop to have an implied win probability above 57.74%. Now, if we take this break-even win percentage and we plug it into a 0-vig odds calculator, so what we can do is we can go to OddsJam, we can open up calculators, no-vig odds calculator, an odds converter calculator, and then let's move this back up. Okay, let's just refresh this. What we can do is we can see 0.74. So 57.74% essentially means PrizePicks is giving you an implied price of roughly minus 137 on all of your player props. But you need 2 picks and an entry, for it to be valid. So essentially, we are looking for PrizePicks entries where every pick in our entry has an implied win probability above 57.74%. So how do we do that? Well, we use OddsJam and we compare PrizePicks to the sports books. So a pick I really like for today is Ryan O'Reilly over 2.5 shots on goal. PrizePicks, again, is giving us an implied price on every one of our picks of minus 137. Doesn't matter if we take the over or the under. 2 picks win, plus 200 odds. So implied odds, minus 137. So it would be a disaster to put in Ryan O'Reilly under 2.5 shots on goal because Pinnacle is giving you plus 136 on this, whereas PrizePicks would be giving you an implied price of minus 137, right? So essentially, I want to go with Ryan O'Reilly right here, over 2.5 shots on goal, minus 137. So I'm going to roll with the over here, and you can see we're getting a ton of value. FanDuel has this minus 146, implied odds minus 137 on PrizePicks, minus 155 DraftKings, implied price minus 137 on PrizePicks. Pinnacle, sharpest sportsbook in the world, has this minus 181, and this, implied price from PrizePicks is positive EV with a profit margin of 4.35%. So this is a great pick to include in your PrizePicks entry, right? So Pinnacle's market is minus 181, plus 136. So if we go to a 0-vig odds calculator, what you can do is you can remove the juice to get the fair price of minus 152. So the fair price is minus 152. PrizePicks is giving us a better price and a better implied price of minus 137. So this is a great pick to include in our entry. Ryan O'Reilly, over 2.5 shots on goal, first pick in my PrizePicks entry, right? Win probability is 60.32%, which again beats our, so 60.32%, so 0.6032 is our, 0.6032 is our implied win percentage using a 0-vig odds calculator. 60.32, and the fair odds is minus 152. So again, I think 57.74 was the break-even win probability you need to beat on PrizePicks, something like that. We're getting 60.32, so this is plus EV, over 2.5 shots on goal. Ryan O'Reilly, over 2.5 shots on goal. That is a player prop pick for the Blues Avalanche game tonight. So great pick to include. Now the next pick I have is going to be right here. So let's go down. David Peterson, MLB, over 3.5 strikeouts, minus 137. Pinnacle all the way down at minus 178. So this is absolutely a bet we want to lock in. We're going with 2 overs. David Peterson over 3.5 strikeouts in the Giants game. Mets-Giants game. He's pitching for the Mets. Then we have Ryan O'Reilly in the Blues-Avs game over 2.5 shots on goal. Positive EV. We'll run through the math in a second, but first, let's just lock this in. So that entry was successfully submitted. Again, in terms of entries, we already have 1 open for tonight. Jaylen Brown, Jimmy Butler, over 3, over 4 assists. And then past entries, we lost the one yesterday, but we absolutely crushed Nathan McKinnon, no goals, and bam, over 22.5 PRAs on Saturday. So we've been running hot on PrizePicks, absolutely. 1-5 entries, 4.5K won. So hopefully you're able to tail this one so we can run through, finish up the math very briefly. So here, Pinnacle's market is minus 178, plus 132. So we're getting a ton of value on PrizePicks. 59.77% win probability, 59.77, 0 vig, fair odds of minus 148.55. Minus 148.55. So essentially, these 2 picks, these 2 player props on PrizePicks for today are uncorrelated. They're uncorrelated player props for tonight's games in the NHL and MLB. So if we want to figure out the win probability of our PrizePicks entry, we just multiply the win probability for Peterson over 3.5 strikeouts and Ryan O'Reilly over 2.5 shots on goal. The win probability for our PrizePicks entry is 36.1%, roughly. Right? So we are beating the 33%, 33.33% that we need to beat for our entry to be positive EV, right? You need to win 1 out of 3 PrizePicks entries to break even. In this entry, we should be winning, according to the math, using sportsbook odds from the sharpest sportsbook in the world, Pinnacle Sportsbook. We should be winning this entry 36% of the time, 36.1%, which means we're losing the entry roughly 64% of the time. So we're staking 100 to win $200 of profit if we win. So our EV is just our win probability, 36% times $200 minus 64% of the time. We're losing $100, $8 in EV. We're staking 100, so our edge is 8.2%. So pretty good entry. I'm quite happy with it. Maybe we bet it a bit more. Pretty good entry, positive EV player props on PrizePicks. So this is strikeouts, and then we wanted Peterson, who's right here. So we'll bet it for a little more. So now we have 250 on it total after this goes through. So then we can see the EV, 250 to win $500 of profit if we win, $20 in edge in profit margin, quantified mathematically on PrizePicks. So player props for tonight. Let's make some freaking money betting on or wagering on the MLB and NHL player props for tonight. Thank you.